maybe inspired. Why don't we hear a little story from me? Would that be okay?
Cool. Yes.
Yeah? So there I was, standing in front of my boyfriend of 2 years, having to repeat myself and say, I'm moving to Japan. What a puzzled face he showed me. He said, but what about me? The sad thing is, I didn't even think about that. I was at university. I was young. I was free. I wanted to travel. I wanted to explore. What do you say at that point? Don't worry, I actually gave him an answer. I suggested to him, well, you can come if you want. Yeah, when I was rethinking this story, I was like, man, that was really cold of me. But 6 months later, guess what? We were on a plane. We were on a plane going to Nagoya, Japan, and we both had working visas and 1-year teaching contracts. That was pretty good considering he was in anthropology. I'll work my magic a little bit. So we were on our way, and when we got there, it was so exciting. And we met all these new people, and I got to practice what I found out was my very formal Japanese. And we learned how to order food from the local izakaya or the pub. And after 6 months, I thought, man, this is too short. I gotta stay. So I told my family and friends. Even though I had already paid off my student loan, and I realized that becoming a fluent Japanese speaker just wasn't going to happen, but I was having fun. So I signed on for another year. Good times, right? Not so much. Then, I got stuck. I was in the day-to-day, month after month, of hating my job. So how did it show up? I showed up just on time or late for work. I didn't always put my best foot forward when I was there. I also realized that my boyfriend was acting a little bit more single than committed. And me, myself, as a varsity athlete playing rugby, at this point, I could care less to work out. I completely lost my motivation. Yeah. I was fully stuck. So was it. Is there a time in your life, an area, where you feel like you're just going through the motions? I was. Looking back on that girl that could jump on a plane and risk losing the boyfriend, I was okay with that. But now I could not connect to who she was. How did she do it? How did I do it? I had no freaking idea. I was alone and feeling really down. I'd lost my spark. That's what being stagnant does to you. So why don't we change? Why? Do you want to know the number one reason successful people get stuck?
Yes.
Yeah, because I'd like to think I was successful. I had the job actually in the schedule that everyone envied, except me, of course. I truthfully had the boyfriend that every girl wanted to be with, except me. I had this job that actually paid me 2 months of vacation off a year. Yeah, I'd be crazy to leave, right? I'd go crazy if I didn't. What's the number one reason that people get stuck? And the thing is, successful people, I'm sure a lot of you are, if not all of you, They stop proactively changing. They're feeling like this. The thing is, if you had looked at me, you would have never known I felt like this. Because I could put on a good face sometimes. And that's what I did. So would you like to know how it all ended up?
Yes.
Yeah? Well, first I have to tell you the reason about being scared. Some people find this shifts them. Scared of surprise change and excited by planned change. I realized that something had to change. And I wanted to be responsible for what the change was going to be. By showing up late, what eventually would happen at my job? They would fire me. Did I want to let that happen? No. My boyfriend was texting other girls. What do you think eventually would have happened? He would have cheated on me. Or broken up with me in a relationship where we argued more than, had fun. So, it was time to change. And I wanted to be in control of that change. So what did I do? In a 3-week period, I quit my job, I broke up with my boyfriend, and I moved apartments. What was the result of that? What happened actually was that I ended up with a really great Japanese girl that I was living with. Still didn't practice my Japanese, but she was great. I ended up finding within 24 hours 2 part-time jobs that paid me more than my other job and gave me less time to actually work. That was really cool. I